Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It's time now for Education Matters. We are here with Dr. Craig Douglas. Thank you again for joining us right on time. Again, we need you today.
It's a pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Douglas. So we've heard a lot about children getting back in the classroom this fall, but we still don't have all the details yet. A lot of what ifs, a lot of questions. So what can you tell us that we do know and what questions are still unanswered?
So the governor released the roadmap for reopening here about 3 weeks ago. And so much is certain depending upon what phase we're in the state. So here's what we know. School likely will open early, and depending upon the phase, it will be either face-to-face or some combination or online. Just yesterday, for example, the governor, in making the case to wear face masks, said we don't want to slide back to phase 3 because we won't be able to open schools face-to-face. So that's an example just from yesterday. So schools likely will be earlier in their opening and will involve radical changes. We know now that face masks will be involved, likely for staff in almost all circumstances, and for students in open environments such as on buses and in hallways. And for older students, they might have them on even during their classes, depending upon, again, the phase that we're in as a state in the pandemic. Spacing, social distancing will be very, very important. Crowded conditions will be minimized, and so there'll be more small group interactions. Health will be a primary indicator for students and staff. There could be temperature checks and health screenings, and school probably will be disrupted or adjusted depending upon health statuses. So these things we kind of are pretty certain about. Things that, in my opinion, we're less certain about are what will the cuts be from the state? We know revenues are down. Will there be an effort to backfill the missing revenues, the shortfalls, with other funding sources? This is still very much up in the air and uncertain. Will school be 2 days a week or 3 or 5, depending upon the phase we're in? And the curve being flattened will dictate that. The governor's made that very, very clear. Homeschool is the topic. We touched upon that recently. How big of an impact will that be? That's uncertain. And then school staffing. What staff will choose to not return because of health concerns? Will more staff leave the profession even, or will they attempt to change careers? Will substitutes be a shortfall? So here's some things I would recommend viewers. Just continue to stay engaged with local school board members. Local schools are developing their own individual plans now with the help of intermediate school leaders. So your voice and opinion and help would be appreciated. Stay informed. Keep watching TV5. See what transpires elsewhere, other states, and at colleges and universities. One rule of thumb I would offer, Colette, is if we see a change at a college or university, that may very well trickle down into our K-12 arenas. And listen for proposed rules and legislation that will assist parents and students, and watch for those key budget decisions that are looming. They could very much impact the number of days of school per week and the class sizes and other school functions. There's some clarity in summary, but there's also much to be determined.
Lastly, Dr. Douglas, I have to ask you, what advice would you give to parents as we prepare our students and our kids for this new normal?
Well, certainly prepare them to be flexible, expect change to occur, and talk with them about the what ifs those changes could impact. And especially for younger students, I would get them used to wearing masks. I saw a couple of posts on Facebook in the last few days where teachers were advising parents to have their children get used to wearing masks around home and for short periods of time to get them kind of trained and getting used to it. I don't know about you, Colette, but that's taken some accustomed for me to get used to.
Yes.
And I think children, it's going to even be a steeper climb.
It is, and you know what, for the younger kids, I know my little ones, I've gotten them accustomed to that, and they're fun masks out there. You can make it a fun time. I've gotten them like University of Michigan Wolverine masks and different, sports that they like. So you can get them used to it that way as well.
turned into a positive and a learning opportunity.
That's right. Thank you, Dr. Douglas, again for calling in. We appreciate your advice today.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You as well, Dr. Douglas. For more information about today's topic, check out the TV5 Hot Links page.